Well, it is FA Cup third round time. Chelsea travel to the Valley to face Charlton Athletic in the Championship in 19th position, 23 points behind Frank Lampard's Coventry City as Liam Rosenior takes his first game in charge of Chelsea since joining from Strasbourg. And it is a big game for Liam Rosenior, not in terms of opponent, but in terms of making an impact, making a statement in his first game as the permanent boss of Chelsea after replacing Enzo Maresca, who got sacked on the 1st of January. This is some way to introduce yourself. He's not going to manage a Premier League game yet because he's got Charlton now and then Arsenal midweek in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. So cup competitions for Liam Rosenior to try and adjust and find out solutions to a floundering Chelsea who have been having a nightmare time in the Premier League. In the first leg of the Carabao. Well, Chelsea have gone with a much changed lineup, and I'll take you through some of the players that have been introduced and some who are starting this game with the likes of Andre Santos and Moises Caicedo as we're off and running at the Valley for the start of kickoff here. Charlton Athletic in their red and white strip, kicking things off from left to right. Chelsea in all blue with a much changed lineup. We've got Jarell Hato, Benoit Badiashile, Tosin Adarabioyo and Joshua Chimpong in the back four, with Philip Jorgensen as the goalkeeper, Moises Caicedo and Andre Santos in the midfield pivot, and the front three of Jamie Gittins, Facundo Buonanotte, and of course Alejandro Garnacho down that left-hand side, with Mark Guiu as the centre forward today. Liam Delap and Joao Pedro all on the bench. Chelsea's bench is very strong, but I really hope that we don't have to use the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Reece James or Wesley Fofana. Well, Charlton 19th in the Championship, 23 points behind Frank Lampard's Coventry, who got knocked out earlier this evening against Stoke City, while Chelsea looking to continue their cup competition progress here. We know the league is pretty much done. It's all about catch-up to try and book one of those Champions League spots after a nightmare December and January not being any better. A loss to Fulham was a real damaging one as Callum McFarlane managed his final game for the club as the first team boss. Be very interested to see the setup here Chelsea use, because they're so accustomed to seeing that back three of Enzo Maresca. Jamie Gittins is playing on the right hand side, which means Alejandro Garnacho will be on the left. But big news for Chelsea is that Dario Sugo, one who was supposed to be the replacement, not just replacement, but the understudy to Moises Caicedo, finally on the bench since August. He had a thigh injury which needed surgery after he was on international duty. Good to see Esugo back in the substitute bench. I would love to see him get a few minutes here today. I'm not sure whether or not Liam Rosenior will use him, but there is an opportunity as Andre Santos, who's worked under Liam Rosenior, gives the ball away immediately as Campbell shifts the ball forward. Well, Charlton are playing with a two-pronged strike attack with Miles LeBurn and Charlie Kelman as the two centre forwards. Back three with Keenan Gove, Lloyd Jones and Amari Bell should give Charlton that base here, and the first ball into the box is well defended by Andre Santos, who lost the ball with the pass, makes the interception, and Charlton have a corner. Good start here for the home side. Well, it's critical that Chelsea maintain their balance, don't allow the home side any sort of rushed feeling, going through the motions here. Make sure that we kill the crowd noises as quickly as possible, take control of the situation and dominate possession. Well, Philip Jorgensen played against Manchester City after Rob Sanchez was injured. He had a decent game, but did concede to Tijani Reinders. A good ball in. Oh my word. Jorgensen is really poor in terms of claiming high crosses as the ball comes in, and he comfortably gathers. We are so accustomed to Rob Sanchez gobbling up stuff in the box. Philip Jorgensen, a completely different profile in terms of a keeper. Very good ball playing goalkeeper, but his shot stopping, his cross claiming, very poor. Yes, Jarell Hato. Well, the left back is playing in that half space by the looks of it. Trying to venture forward as Andre Santos makes the tackle. Well, Liam Rosenior talked about tempo, intensity, and making teams fear coming to Stamford Bridge. It's good talk. I was really impressed with the way that he spoke in all the press conferences and the interviews that he did. One with Joe Cole especially was very nice in terms of how excited Liam Rosenior was. It's a big gig for him. It's a massive jump, moving from Derby to Hull, then Strasbourg, and then straight away to Chelsea. So massive jump for Liam Rosenior. Onto the right-hand side here. Charlton looking to break through here. Benoit Badiashile. Oh, that is such a clumsy tackle. The foul has been given, and so needless there by Benoit Badiashile. And he picks up a yellow card too. Terrible start for the Frenchman. He is pushed forward. Yeah, he does not have the pace. Mari Bell bombing forward. That was a very cynical tackle there by Benoit Badiashile, and he picks up a yellow card. Not the start that Chelsea were looking for here, because Charlton have looked pretty comfortable with 5 minutes on the clock. Miles Leburn made that run. Gets the foul and a free kick here. James Bree, the right wing back, will look to just whip this one in, knowing that Philip Jorgensen is not going to come out and claim. Chelsea playing a high line here with the defense. Ball into the box. And it's too much on it, but he somehow gets his header on it, but the ball goes out of play and Chelsea survive. Hasn't been the start that we were looking for here. Charlton very much up for it. It's pretty much a free hit for Nathan Jones' side here. Of course, man, it's Southampton in the Premier League. Had a really tough time, wasn't he? And now in the Championship, isn't going any better. Facundo Buonanotte. And on loan from Brighton. Chelsea were chasing Xavi Simons for most of the summer. He went to Spurs, and then Chelsea decided to pull the trigger on Facundo Buonanotte on the end of the transfer window. Again, Badiashile doesn't look very comfortable in the early stages here. Charlton looking to pop the ball here on the right-hand side. Looks for the cross, no pressure on the ball. Decent ball in, good header there by Tosin. Can Charlton win the second ball here? They're all over us in the early stages. Here's Tyrese Campbell, the Jamaican, whips the ball in. Comfortable gather there for Philip Jorgensen. Chelsea haven't played any football yet, as Caicedo and Andre Santos exchange a few passes, and now here's the Brazilian. Finds Jarell Hato on the left-hand side. Again, operating in the half spaces here, Jarell Hato. Interesting to see the left back pretty much taking up those Kukureya positions, so I think the back three will remain with Achimpong, Tosin, and Benoit Badiashile. Plenty of height for Chelsea. Badiashile 6'3", Tosin 6'4", Achimpong 6'5". So aerially Chelsea hopefully should be fine, as the two-prong attack of Miles Leburn and Charlie Kelman will look to cause the centre-back some problems. Clever pass between the lines. Buonanotte immediately tackled. Very well done there. Jamie Gittins helps out defensively. Here's Josh Achimpong. Feeds it to Gittins on the right-hand side. Interesting position here for Jamie Gittins. Goes on the outside. Brilliant from Gittins. Ball into the box. Good save there by Mannion. Clears that away. Jamie Gittins needs this game to really build his confidence. It's been hard work watching Jamie Gittins, because you can see so much potential in him in terms of his 1v1 ability. Good ball by Caicedo. Easily taken there by Mannion. Jamie Gittins on the right-hand side. Classic wing play there by the number 11. Looks to just fizz that into the box as Mark Guy was making the front post run. Hato does well. Badiashile. Okay, not very convincing, but Jarell Hato does very well. Now Achimpong. Finds Jamie Gittins. Manchester City won 10-1 against Exeter. Spurs, the last I checked, they were losing 2-1 to Aston Villa at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm not sure whether or not the scoreline remained as such, as Thomas Frank is really having a tough time as the manager of Spurs. Not happening in the league, getting eliminated in the cups. Spurs fans having very little to cheer about this season. Here's Andre Santos. Mark Guy trying to turn away and loses out. The back three of Keenan Gove, Lloyd Jones and Amari Bell will be keeping a close eye. Again, I'll be watching Mark Guy here. We expect him to score goals, not just because we desperately need Mark Guy to get a bit of confidence. Yes, he's very much the third choice striker with João Pedro and Liam Delap. Mark Guiu against championship opponents, we expect him to find the back of the net. 1 win in 9 in the Premier League for Chelsea. I mean, talk about things going tits up for Chelsea, as Tyrese Campbell on the left-hand side up against Acheampong. Goes on the outside. It's a wild swipe and out for a goal kick. The Jamaican is getting a bit of space down the left-hand side, but he's got the tough task of trying to go around Josh Acheampong. But again, this is a very good start here for Charlton. Not overawed by the situation whatsoever. Very much playing on the front foot. Trying to attack the soft underbelly of Chelsea, who have had a real dearth of confidence. Nathan Jones will be relatively pleased with the start. Into the 10th minute, Chelsea had to really trouble Will Mannion in goal. So Macclesfield beat the holders, Crystal Palace, in a really shock result. Just shows you that the magic of the FA Cup still remains. We do expect giant killers to happen. Arsenal play Portsmouth. Manchester United play Brighton tomorrow. Game has been paused here for some reason, as both sets of players having a word with the coaching staff. I'm not sure as to why the game has been paused. 10 minutes on the clock. Now, is there an incident in the crowd where one of the fans needs medical assistance? I'm not sure, but generally is the case when the game is just halted for no reason. Damn, I'm having a bad hair day, so please excuse me for that. 10.5 minutes on the clock. Chelsea yet to really get going. It's going to take a bit of time. Liam Rossinier wanting to implement his ideas. There's no time on the training pitch because of very busy January and Feb, of course, coming up here. International break in March, so a lot of games in all the cups. In the Champions League, we've got to try and get into the top 8. It's been a nightmare in that competition as well. Losing to Atalanta, drawing to Karabag, losing to Bayern Munich. That top 8 spot seems that it might just have slipped out of the fingers, but we have an opportunity via the playoffs to qualify for the round of 16. Looks like play will be continuing here. Need to see a lot more from the Chelsea midfield. We have to dominate the midfield here. Charlton are going with Connor Coventry as their lone 6. Greg Doherty and Sonny Carey as the 2 dual 10s. Very attacking lineup by Coach Nathan Jones. It's like a 3-1-4-2 by the looks of it. You can interpret it anywhere where you want, but it seems that Connor Coventry will be the lone 6. Chelsea players just warming up here. Play still not continuing here. I'm sure it's got to be medical assistance that is required in the stands. Yep, Chelsea players just keeping warm, passing the ball around and making sure that they don't stiffen up here. Cold conditions. Again, we need to see the likes of Buonanotte, Garnacho and Jamie Gittins really grab the game by the scruff of its neck. Well, one of Gittins or Garnacho has to identify that Pedro Neto, who's seeing a lot of game time, might play a lot as the left-sided attacker for Liam Rossinier. That spot is really up for grabs. No Estivao, which is a bit disappointing, but hopefully he comes on off the bench. He's played very little football in terms of regular minutes. I thought Enzo Maresca was managing him very well. I thought a lot of Chelsea fans would have been really upset that he wasn't getting those regular starts, but Estevao's played so much football for Palmeiras last season, and for a 17-18-year-old, it is not normal, and especially when you translate that into the Premier League, where the intensity and the pace is a whole lot more. You have to manage his minutes very conservatively, and that's something that Enzo Maresca did very well. Just feel like the back end of the season is where we need to see the likes of Cole Palmer, Estivao, Joao Pedro all come into the fray and almost rescue the season here. Started off so well. I mean, we were playing Arsenal, what was that, 30th of November, if I'm not mistaken. We were 3 points behind Arsenal. And if we had won that game, we would have been level on points. And now I don't even bother looking at the top half of the table there. The top 3, all creating a significant amount of distance from us. Arsenal had the opportunity to go 8 points clear of Manchester City and Aston Villa if they would have beaten Liverpool at home, but that wasn't the case. Picked up a very boring draw. That was a real painful watch, an eyesore at times, as Arsenal in the second half completely abandoned playing any sort of football. It seems the fan in the crowd has been taken care of. Round of applause. I really hope that he is okay. It's a real shame that you make your way into the crowd, a big game like this, playing against the giants that are Chelsea, and you have a medical situation such as that. Good to see Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who played for both clubs, in the stands today. What a striker he was, man. Left foot, right foot. Powerful striker. His ball striking was absolutely ludicrous. Remember the goal for the older fans in, I think that was 2003 or was it 2002, where the right-footed drive into the top corner against Manchester United really was a thing of beauty. Of course, he scored that perfect hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur in the early 2000s as well. They talk about the striker crisis that Chelsea have had throughout the seasons. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank definitely wasn't one of them. Buonanotte as well. Clever ball. Very good ball. The header was on target. Is that Jarell Hato? It was. The left back making the run forward once again in the half spaces. Lovely floated ball there by Facundo Buonanotte. And Jarell Hato does the right thing. Heads it from where it comes back from. Didn't have the pace to try and trouble Will Mannion there, but first attempt on target for Chelsea. And it comes from an unlikely source in Jarell Hato. Here's Jorgensen, finds Badiashile. Chelsea looking to play out the back, which they do quite comfortably. Here's Moises Caicedo with the captain's armband today, with no Reece James or Enzo Fernandez in the starting 11. Buonanotte finds Jamie Gittins. Come on, Gittins, take him on. On the inside, then on the outside. Jamie Gittins with the strike, it's punched away. Chelsea with a couple of shots on target. In a matter of minutes here. Will Mannion now starting to be a lot more tested. That's much better there from Jamie Gittins. Just be positive. Be decisive in your actions. Buonanotte is starting to influence the game a lot more in that number 10 position. But good to see Jamie Gittins take a bit of responsibility on his shoulders, because every time we saw him on that left-hand side in the Premier League, he used to drive forward, check back, maybe play a sideways or backwards pass. Need him to go forward and do what he's brought into the club to be doing as the corner for Chelsea. Cleared away. Take two. Well, Chelsea did equalize against Fulham. Down to 10 men from a corner. Liam Delap scoring his first Premier League goal for Chelsea. Took him about 20 games, but better late than never. Yes, he was injured for a lot of the season. One with a hamstring injury and then picked up a shoulder injury. We need Liam Delap to really contribute with the goals. João Pedro, I've had absolutely no problems with him. Decent ball in. Again, why are we just picking up the front post here? Buonanotte has another opportunity. Instead plays it to Jamie Gittins. Here's Moises Caicedo. Gittins again. Back to Moy. That's a poor pass there by Moises Caicedo. Easily cleared. CHARLTON looking to push out here now. Jarell Hato's got the pace and he calmly defends that. But Marc Cucurella picked up that first half red card for Chelsea. He started that game so well against Fulham. They barely had a kick. Bern Leno plays a long ball forward. Chelsea defenders all had committed for the corner. It was 1v1. What is that? Harry Wilson? Yep, it was Harry Wilson who was hauled down by Marc Cucurella as the last man tackle. Was really fuming with Marc Cucurella with that decision. Not sure as to why Chelsea players feel that they need to make those last man tackles. If they score, fair enough. But don't go down to 10 men, man. The red cards have been farcical this season. Here's Jamie Gittins. Left-footed ball in, easily cleared. Andre Santos with the strike. Oh, might have taken a deflection. Hasn't. Again, it's Jarell Hato who's making those forward runs. Very interesting to see Hato's positioning here. Again, Gittins trying to show his 1v1 abilities. Decent ball into the box. Andre Santos, who won Liga Young Player of the Year under Liam Rossinier. Well, Strasbourg really did miss the Brazilians' impact, finding themselves in 7th in Liga before Liam Rossinier made the switch. Josh Achimpong with a very good first touch, but foul there. Chelsea need to get that first goal just quite in the crowd as quickly as possible, as Sonny Carey makes the foul on Josh Achimpong. Here's Tosin Adebayo. Started against Fulham, his former club. I thought he was decent. Trevor Chalobah, on the other hand, a bit questionable in terms of his game against Fulham on that occasion. Chelsea's bench is very strong, but really hoping that we don't have to use our bench. But Arsenal coming up on Wednesday night. First leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Moises Caicedo will be missing that as he picked up a yellow card. His 5th yellow in the competition. Moises Caicedo missing some very crucial games. Missed a game against City. Again, Andre Santos' passing has been a real letdown in the early stages, but Chelsea win the ball back into the 20th minute. Andre Santos just needs to calm down here and keep things simple. Let the forward players try and take the risks here. As Josh Achimpong down the right-hand side shifts it to Jamie Gittins. Again trying to go on the outside. Lovely step over. Gittins goes on the outside brilliantly. Decent ball in. Mark Guiu with his first touch finds Josh Achimpong. It's Buonanotte. Clever feed. Trying to do too much there, the Argentine. Cleared away. Chelsea now dominating territory and possession. Tosin finds Caicedo. Andre Santos. Good to see the two pivot players, their distances being managed here, because at times we saw Moises Caicedo be by his lonesome, but with Andre Santos more of a natural. Again, his passing has just been a real letdown here. His positioning has been first class, but his passing hasn't been crisp. Just needs to find a few accurate passes here. Caicedo thought about the switch. Garnacho hasn't gotten into the game yet. He's holding the width down the left-hand side. Feeling a bit lonely. Needs a few touches. Here's Badiashile. Now finds Garnacho. Immediately gets dispossessed. Oh, Badiashile has to commit there. Instead, he backpedals. Coventry trying to play out. Badiashile really, really poor. Charlton played this beautifully out there. Venturing forward. What a tackle that is by Moises Caicedo. He had no right to get there. Gets there with a clean challenge. Here's Caicedo. Badiashile, Jirel Hato, Alejandro Garnacho. It's been on the fringes in the first half so far. Tosin looking to venture forward. Good shape here off the ball from Charlton. They're not retreating into a deep block. They're very much playing in a compact mid-block. The back three becoming a back five when Nathan Jones' side don't have the ball. Here's Achimpong. Chelsea now starting to have the kind of possession we expected them to have. Andre Santos, Caicedo, Benoit Badiashile. 22 minutes on the clock. Andre Santos again playing short, crisp passes. Josh Achimpong. Now Jamie Gittins, who's been our most liveliest attacker. Thought about going on the outside, trying to play the 1-2 with Caicedo. Caicedo's pass is not good, but he intercepts. It's cleared away. Badiashile, who's on a yellow card, loses out that header. Badiashile has had a really poor start to the half here. He's picked up a yellow card. He hasn't been convincing in his actions. I like Benoit Badiashile, but when his confidence dips or he's playing with a bit of doubt in his mind, he's a real liability for us. He's got all the tools in terms of being strong. His passing is excellent. He's got the size as well, but he doesn't really use it. If that makes any sense. Chelsea with 85% of the ball. A couple of attempts that Will Mannion have had to save. Nothing too extravagant in terms of having to make some big saves. Andre Santos finds Moises Caicedo. Achimpong, Caicedo, Chelsea knocking it about in harmless territory for Charlton. Here's Andre Santos. Inches forward to Josh Achimpong. Here's the Englishman who drives forward. And Chelsea have a big hopes for Josh Achimpong. Yet another Cobham defender. Love to see the likes of Achimpong, Colville and Reece James together on the pitch. Cobham's finest. Here's Caicedo onto the right-hand side. Gittins. Jamie Gittins swarmed by 3 Charlton players. Again, needs a bit of help. Josh Acheampong won't be able to overlap because he doesn't have those winger-like traits. Being 6'5", he is very comfortable on the ball. But we need Jamie Gittins rather to be taking a lot of the situation on his own young shoulders here. Gittins, he's got the overlap this time. Acheampong does make it, and Gittins' pass leaves it short. Cleared away. Moises Caicedo pinches it. I think he might have kept that in. That's really unlucky, but it's a throw-in for Charlton. Nathan Jones will be very, very pleased with the way the first half has gone so far. A couple of attempts that Will Mannion has had to save, but other than that, Chelsea dominating possession, but not really putting the squeeze on Charlton Athletic. There's Mannion. Badiashile, much better there from him. Just away from Buonanotte. Lovely touch there by Amari Bell under pressure. Here's Tyrese Campbell. Charlton have knocked this around quite well, and it's really unfortunate they couldn't work the ball down that left-hand side. And Tyrese Campbell, Jamaican, with the number 7 on his back. He'll be looking to cause us problems down that left-hand side for Charlton. Here's Andre Santos. Nice pass between the lines. Here's Jarell Hato. Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho driving infield. Buonanotte. Andre Santos. Decent pass. Might be offside. He isn't. Well, Moises Caicedo thought about the shot. Chelsea being very patient at the edge of the Charlton box. Tosin goes for the shot from distance, and it's really unnecessary from Tosin Adebayo. Everybody backed off there, and rightfully so. If the centre-half scores from there, then fair enough. That is where we need Tosin to be a bit more responsible with the ball. Mannion looking to find Tyrese Campbell. Good touch there from the Jamaican. Finds Amari Bell. Chelsea have completed 223 passes to Charlton's 23. But 0-0 the scoreline, so that's something that Nathan Jones really wouldn't mind. But Charlton really struggling to get hold of the ball. It's a huge difference between the two clubs. I mean, yes, Chelsea are struggling in the Premier League, but Charlton 19th in the Championship, 23 points behind Frank Lampard's Coventry City. Got knocked out by Stoke City, so we won't see a possible reunion against Frank Lampard at some point in the FA Cup. Caicedo wins the header. Charlton now committing bodies forward down the right-hand side. Badiashile up against Miles Leoburn. Very well done there by Badiashile, but Charlton still have the ball now. Kept it really nicely. Greg Doherty and Sonny Carey has those dual 10s. Need to try and drop in and head the build-up for Charlton Athletic. Here's Amari Bell. Finds Lloyd Jones. With Mannion going for depth with the clearance. Again, the loose ball has to be Chelsea's, and it is. Andre Santos' header can't find Alejandro Garnacho. James Bree, clever pass there to Sonny Carey. Buonanotte picks up the intercepted pass. Mark Guiu, now Jamie Gittins. And Charlton have plenty of bodies back. Here's Buonanotte. Jarell Hato now venturing forward. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. 1v2 here. Garnacho looking to go down the outside. Good defending here by James Bree. Good leave there by Andre Santos. Caicedo thought about the shot. Good dummy there. He needs to quickly release Jamie Gittins, which he does. Gittins looking to go on the outside. Decides to play the back pass. Caicedo back to Gittins. Now Caicedo makes the overlap. Gittins tries to curl that with his left foot into the top corner. Bit of a wild swipe there by the Englishman. Goal kick for Charlton Athletic. Well, Liam Rossinier will have looked at this game so far. In terms of control and passes, yes, he'll be happy. But in terms of really putting Will Mannion under pressure in goal, it's been a bit disappointing in the first half. Jamie Gittins, more naturally a left winger, but getting an opportunity at right wing today. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody tuning in live. I say this every time and I'll continue saying it. Really does mean the world to me. Here's Josh Achumpong into the 30th minute. Lovely carry there by the Englishman. Look at Achumpong go onto the right hand side. Come on, Gittins, take him on. Instead he plays a short pass to Achumpong. Here's Buonanotte. Buonanotte loses the ball in really poor fashion. Now Charlton Athletic can counter here. Sonny Carey finds Miles Leoburn. He's had a battle with Benoit Badiashile. That's a very clever back heel. Oh, the dummy on Andre Santos is brilliant. Oh, there's a foul there, and I really hope it isn't Benoit Badiashile. He's so silly, man. You got a yellow card. Why would you commit a foul? Really, really poor there from Benoit Badiashile on a yellow card. I mean, we don't learn our lessons, don't we? I mean, that is so poor from Benoit Badiashile. What is he trying to achieve there? I'll have no idea. He has to come off at the second half, that's for sure. We can't have him here and risk going down to 10 men again. That's really, really poor from Badiashile. He's committed 2 fouls in that area. Yet to really pay the price, but it's got to be better. Really has to be better. Free kick for Charlton. Whips that towards the far stick. It's a decent ball in. It's cleared away from distance. What a block. Greg Dougherty pulls the trigger on the volley. Surely a foul and a yellow card there for Dougherty, who makes the challenge. Prevents the counter-attack. And the number 10 does pick up a yellow card. The ball sat up nicely. It was a bit of an awkward angle for him to try and pull the trigger. Chelsea don't defend the situation well whatsoever. Decent header. It's cleared away. Dougherty was probably just over waist height. It's a cynical foul on Jamie Gittins. Andre Santos, Buonanotte, Moises Caicedo, now Josh Achumpong. Buonanotte, Achumpong again, Santos, Moises Caicedo. Chelsea need to find penetrative passes here. Need to be a bit more inventive. Caicedo finds Andre Santos. And now Jamie Gittins. Look at Tyrese Campbell helping out defensively and does very well. Amari Bell comfortably get the ball. And he works it very well. Achumpong with a brilliant challenge. Cleared away by Tyrese Campbell. Tosin, not the best. Caicedo helps out and thankfully Moy was there. Again, when the likes of Tosin and Badiashile have any sort of hesitation in their game, really makes for uncomfortable viewing for Chelsea. Here's Achumpong. Finds Tosin Adarabioyo. Andre Santos, his passing has definitely improved in this last 10 or 15 minutes. Here's Santos again. Oh, it's a really poor pass just when he started to praise him, but Caicedo does very well. Come on, Santos, just keep it simple. He's trying to almost impress the manager a little too much. He's worked with you. He knows what you're all about. Just keep it simple. Buonanotte does well. Chelsea looking to pop it around the Charlton press. Here's Garnacho. Not had the influence in the first half. Here's Santos. Moises Caicedo. Achumpong. Now onto the right-hand side to Jamie Gittins. Will he look to go on the outside? Achumpong once again makes the run, but Gittins ignores him. Caicedo, again down the right-hand side. Once Gittins goes on the inside, we've got no width whatsoever down the right-hand side because Achumpong in that position, I mean, he will give it his all in terms of effort, but he doesn't have the qualities of a right-back or a winger, so can't keep having Achumpong in those isolated situations on the right wing. Here's Tosin. There will be a significant amount of time added on for the fans suffering what looked like something of a heart issue. I mean, shouldn't speculate, but when somebody does collapse, could happen. Really hope that he is okay, considering buying the ticket for a big game such as this. As Josh Achumpong, oh, what a drive that is from distance. Well, Mannion makes his first proper save. Nobody picks off Josh Achumpong. Nobody closes out the centre back. Rolls it out. That's a cracking drive there. Good ball striking there from Josh Achumpong, adding more and more facets to his already improving game. That's a third shot on target there for Chelsea. Alejandro Garnacho looking to whip this one in. We have to get this over the front post here. Every corner we take is aimed at that front stick. Once again at the front post. I do not understand this tactic whatsoever. It's either that or our corner takers are absolutely shit. Here's Garnacho. Oh, that's so poor. Just roll it to Achumpong, man. He's there in the space. Garnacho trying to take responsibility. You've got to applaud that, but the quality really lacking. Chelsea had to address that left wing spot, spend 90 million quid and acquire Jamie Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho. Jury's still out on both. Here's Garnacho. Up against Campbell. Left wing back. Finding himself on the right hand side. Gittins now shifts onto the left. Jamie Gittins. Jarell Hato battles away and keeps possession nicely. Here's Moises Caicedo. Poor pass there by Moy, and now Charlton on the counter attack. They worked it well down the left hand side. Here's Amari Bell. He's got Josh Achumpong, who is a terrific 1v1 defending, and Facundo Buonanotte does very well. Chelsea need to get that first goal before half time. It's been good play, but this is the least we expect against a team that are 19th in the championship. Yeah, the tempo has to be maintained. Charlton looking very comfortable. They're not playing in a deep block, mind you. They're very much in a mid block. Not retreating at the edge of the box, inviting the Chelsea pressure. They're very much keeping their shape. Almost inviting Chelsea to play through the middle. Here's Tosin. Finds Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho up against Bree. Looking to play the 1-2 with Moises Caicedo. Caicedo's passing in the final third has been really poor. Other than that, he's pretty much had a faultless game, but with Andrés Santos and Moises Caicedo both struggling to pick up that killer pass. No Enzo Fernandez in the team. I'll be the first one to admit that Enzo Fernandez in the last couple of months hasn't really set the world alight. Here's Jamie Gittins. Almost know that he's going to go on the outside because the inside doesn't really work for him. Decent bit of play there, but it's a nothing ball and it's easily cleared. Tosin with a good first touch. And Chelsea totally dominating possession. Here's Andrés Santos. Finds Achumpong. Here's Facundo Buonanotte. Andrés Santos. Moises Caicedo. Everybody getting touches in this Chelsea attack here. Seen very little of Mark Guiu. That's the disappointing part. I think he's had just the one touch. That's a terrible pass by Benoit Badiashile, who's nowhere near the same wavelength as Alejandro Garnacho. Liam Rosenior. Yep, he's just signaling that something's missing in this first half. But Philip Jorgensen doesn't have too much to do in terms of work between the sticks. Long may that continue in this match. Here's Buonanotte. And Guiu's making those runs to try and drag one of the centre backs out of position. But again, he's so isolated that even if he gets the ball, just look at the distance between. Buonanotte is playing on the right wing. He needs to be in that number 10 position as much as possible. Now drifts into the half space here. Buonanotte whips it. Easily headed away. Punted by Sonny Carey. Tosin does well. And Charlton win the first and the second ball. Play it out quite nicely down the right hand side. Tosin very strong. James Bree no match for him. Ah, Garnacho so poor. Again, he's been a passenger in the game. Decent ball forward. Achumpong. is strong. Might have come off his arm. I think the last touch surely has come off Josh Achumpong, and it's a throw in for Charlton Athletic. Josh Achumpong slightly bemused by that decision. He's looked good. I think him and Tosin at the back have been fine. Badia Shield, a bit shaky on a yellow card, has committed a foul too. Wouldn't be surprised if he's hooked at half time. If I see one more red card for Chelsea, I'm going to lose it. Every time we get a red card, it just kills us. The types of red cards we get is just pure self-sabotage. Nothing else. Here's Tosin. Finds Josh Achumpong. And his first instinct is always to drive forward. It's very good to see. Here's Caicedo. Andre Santos. Jarell Hato. He's continued to operate in that left-hand side half space. He's not inverting as well. I mean, we haven't seen him at left back whatsoever. It's because Chelsea have so much of the ball. It's not a position you want to see someone who plays as a left back or a left-sided centre-back to be playing as one of the 10s. Buonanotte tried to turn. It's a delayed fall by him. Charlton can play on, and they will. Rightfully so. Miles Leoburn finds Tyrese Campbell now down the left-hand side. Campbell goes on the outside, gets away from Josh Achumpong. Achumpong gets the touch, and it's a corner for Charlton. Facundo Buonanotte, pretty lightweight in terms of his build and stature. Getting a sore one on his lower back, and it's a corner for Charlton. Let's have a look whether or not it was a foul. Yep, probably it was. I think that was Amari Bell. Just need him on the gluteus maximus. Buonanotte is still down. Going to wait for the corner to be taken. Buonanotte is still not gotten up. Yeah, nothing too serious in terms of real contact. Just caught him. Expected him to be up, but as I mentioned before, his build is very slight. Not much muscle on him. Relies on his flair, but again, it's a signing that was very, very underwhelming on transfer deadline day. We expected proper cover for Cole Palmer. We didn't do that. Cole Palmer started the season, then missed out until December. And then we saw what we saw. Chelsea did find ways to win without Cole. But now that Palmer is back, he hasn't set the world alight, but slowly but surely getting his fitness going. We need him against Arsenal to pull out a big, big game with the world watching at Stamford Bridge. Buonanotte with a bit of a limp, but should be okay to continue. Corner for Charlton. Been waiting for a long time for this corner to be taken. Imrosinian not happy with something that he's seeing here, but corner should be taken. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to be played. Expecting about 5 to 7 minutes of stoppage time. Chelsea do have that, I wouldn't say luxury of time, but they should be able to create one more opportunity before half time. Charlton take the corner shot. Conor Coventry lays it off for the ball into the box. It's headed away. Tosin does well. Sonny Carey put under pressure there. Mark Guiu does very well, but excessive force according to the referee. Again, Mark Guiu can't fault his effort, but effort is bare minimum, man. You cannot be forcing, I mean, almost, what's the word? Championing effort. Because we expect effort. I mean, you're getting paid all that money. The least you can do is run around. Again, he's not had the centre forward play. We've hardly played the ball to him. It's almost like we don't expect him to keep hold of the ball. Look at this ludicrously high line that Chelsea are deploying for this free kick. Will Mannion, just a couple of yards from the halfway line, switches it. Ball into the box. Decent header away. Moy should be favourite, and he is. Tosin gets very fortunate. Shows good composure. Now Jamie Gittins. Surely that's a foul. Come on, ref. Takes an age before Keenan Gough. Could have very easily picked up a yellow card because, again, he has got no interest in playing the ball. Here's Andre Santos. Oh, Ben Warbadia Shield. He needs to be taken off at halftime. There's no two ways around it. Clear liability on the pitch for us. Here's Lloyd Jones. Again, he's had a very, very comfortable evening up against Mark Guiu. Campbell finds Amari Bell. He's been put under pressure there by Jamie Gittins, but once again, unfairly according to the linesman. It's a free kick for Charlton. A minute plus added on time remaining in this first half. Lackluster is the best word to describe this first half. Charlton really having trouble. Jorgensen. Chelsea have had a couple of attempts. The best chance that we've had, and I use the word chance very loosely as it was a drive from distance by Josh Achimpong. Mannion clears. Good header there by Benoit Badiashile. Buonanotte wins a header. Surprising. And Charlton keep the ball. Mark Guiu looking to give chase here. Back pass was left short, but they deal with it quite comfortably. Moises Caicedo wins the ball back. Chelsea have a chance here. Garnacho's bearing down on goal here. It's Alejandro Garnacho. It's blocked away. It's a poor decision there by Garnacho to go on the outside and shoot with his left. Made no sense whatsoever. Such has been the impact of Garnacho in this first half. Here's Caicedo. Josh Achimpong. Now Jamie Gittins. Left-footed ball into the box. Poor, very poor. Well, 7 minutes of added on time has been signalled. Chelsea going forward. Less said the better. Again, I've been crying out for Pedro Neto to be out of the team, right? But look at the options that we have as our wingers. Gittins and Garnacho are almost like a project, work in progress. Gittins, decent strike. Oh, what a strike that is from Gittins on his weaker left foot. That was arrowing into the bottom corner. Jamie Gittins looking to take a bit more responsibility here. Excellent ball striking. Again, skips off the surface. Very good save there by Will Mannion. Parries that away for a corner and not in the danger area. You can see Mark Guiu making the run, waiting for the spillage to fall into his direction. Chelsea have had 9 attempts, 5 on target. Charlton with no shots on target. Corner for Chelsea. Please avoid the front post. They take it short. Here's Caicedo. Gittins to Buonanotte. He's fooling no one with that dummy here, but Gittins does very well. Left-footed ball into the box, cleared away. Gittins has all his good actions on his weaker left foot. Achimpong, can he win the header? He can't, but Chelsea do pick up the loose ball. Buonanotte, look up! Garnacho is in acres of space there, but puts his head down. Here's Caicedo, Andre Santos. Tosin Adebayo to Benoit Badiashile. Andre Santos off balance, finds the pass to Caicedo. And Chelsea camped in the Charlton half here. Benoit Badiashile finds Andre Santos. Buonanotte. Really hope we terminate his loan. I mean, again, bless him, but he's nowhere near the levels, is he? Oh, Tosin's getting ragdolled there as Charlton on the attack. Charlie Kelman keeps the ball nicely. Charlton score before half-time. Would really be a shock to the system and the home crowd. And go absolutely bananas. Here's Lloyd Jones. Finds Connor Coventry. Looks for the switch. Badiashile defends that well. Gittins does very well. Now Moises Caicedo's got a bit of space here. He can drive. Caicedo slowing the pace down for some reason. Buonanotte. Two former Brighton players exchanging passes as Andre Santos finds the Argentine. Alejandro Garnacho. Come on, be decisive. Don't take a shot. Here's Achimpong, who's found himself in shooting range. Caicedo feeds it to Garnacho. Come on, show your 1v1 ability. Goes on the inside. Do not shoot. Oh my word. He's so predictable, man. Chelsea have to stop shopping in Manchester United. We got Sancho on loan and then Alejandro Garnacho for £40 million. We have to stop shopping at Manchester United. Yes, we owe them for Mason Mount after Manchester United paid 55 million quid for Mason Mount, who had just 1 year left on his deal. But we should not be evening the odds, that's for sure. Clever pass there by Buonanotte, but it's easily intercepted. Andre Santos surveying his options. Here's the captain Caicedo. Decent ball in. Cleared away. It's Jarell Hato! It's Jao. What a goal! Oh, I thought it hit the side netting. Jarell Hato takes the net off right into the top corner. No celebrations there from Jarell Hato as Chelsea get the lead. Such a surprising reaction there from Jarell Hato. It sits up nicely. But my, oh my, does he take the cover off the ball. Chelsea have the lead before half-time. Patient build-up here. Switch that. It was a decent header there. How about this from Jarell Hato? Oh, wow. You should be celebrating, son. You absolutely should be. What a strike. No chance for Will Mannion. And Chelsea have the lead before half-time. Well, the first goal of the Liam Rossinier era comes in stunning fashion. Jarell Hato, cold as ice, smashes that into the top corner. Chelsea have the lead. Well, 2 minutes of added on time remaining. Do we deserve the goal? Sure. But in the manner of which it came, and the goal scorer completely caught us off guard. I thought it hit the side netting in the way he celebrated. Or the lack of celebration, really. It's almost like Jarell Hato scores like 50 goals a season where he was just looking to be so calm and collected. He's never going to hit a ball as sweet as that in Chelsea colours, that's for sure. We needed a moment of magic to open up the Charlton defence, and it has arrived in stunning fashion. That surely should have been a foul. Mark Guillot, first touch is really, really poor. Feeds it onto the right-hand side. Decent pass. Chelsea retreating here. Moises Caicedo. Oh, he commits a needless foul. Why is Moises Caicedo looking to pinch the ball there? He's got a defender in front of him. Goes on the wrong side. That is so poor from Moy. I mean, yes, he makes those challenges very often, but not before half-time. Not in that situation. There's a defender right in front of him. Why is he trying to nick it? I'll never understand. 30 seconds remaining of stoppage time. And if Charlton score from here, that's on Moises Caicedo. Absolutely no need for it. Last action before the first half whistle here. James Reid, the right wing back. Not had too much to do in terms of going forward, but has an opportunity to put the delivery in here. Bree goes for goal against the wall. Thankfully, Chelsea survived that situation. We're into borrowed time of stoppage time. Again, looking for the cross into the box. Well defended. Kept the ball very nicely here. Sonny Carey decides to play it back, and that will be the final action of Liam Rossinier's first 45 minutes as Chelsea boss, as Chelsea have the lead. Jarell Hato right before the first half whistle, smashing it into the top corner and then celebrating like he didn't have a care in the world. Has he pulled a muscle after hitting that shot? I think he might have done so, as Liam Rossinier has a word with Enzo Fernandez as he heads into the tunnel. Half-time here at the Valley. Charlton Athletic 0, Chelsea 1. Well, in terms of possession, shots, all the metrics, Chelsea have totally dominated, but we fully expected that to happen. Jamie Gittins has shown that he likes to take a bit more responsibility going forward. Buonanotte has had a nothing game, so has Garnacho. Mark Hughes had maybe 3 or 4 touches at best. The midfield, not too many troubles, but Santos and Moises Caicedo's passing in the final third can definitely improve going forward here into the second half. Chelsea need to add the second and possibly the third as quickly as possible. Half-time here at the Valley. Charlton 0, Chelsea 1. I'll be back very shortly for the time of the second half. See you guys very shortly. Well, with the end of the first half, Chelsea getting the lead just before half time, with the most unlikeliest of sources in Jarell Hato absolutely taking the cover off the ball with a left-footed drive into the top corner. His lack of celebration, I thought it hit the side netting with the way that he did not celebrate, but that was a cracking goal. We needed something of some really high quality to open up the Charlton defence. Let's go player by player in terms of how their first half went. Jorgensen had nothing to do. I thought Badia Shield was really poor in defense. Picked up that early yellow card. Did commit a foul too. I think that's his last warning. And I think Liam Rosenior needs to take him off at halftime just to make sure that Chelsea don't end the game with 10 men. Tosin, decent. Again, couple of decent headers. In terms of his aerial ability, he's been calm on the ball. Achimpong has been our best defender by far, not just with his defensive work, but the way that he's driven forward. Had a lovely shot from outside the box that was angling into the bottom corner, which was saved by Will Mannion. And then the likes of midfield, Caicedo, and of course, Andre Santos. Decent in terms of the positioning, but I thought the passing in the final third was really, really poor. That needs to improve. Buonanotte, nothing much to really scream about. Garnacho, the same. A really poor first half from the two Argentines. Jamie Gittins has been our best attacker down the right-hand side. He's had a couple of shots and driving runs down the right-hand side. Mark Guiu, again, an anonymous performance from the Spaniard. He certainly can improve in the forward areas. But with the rotation, we expected this to happen. But we need more. We can do more, especially against a championship side. We have to expect more from these players. I mean, Garnacho 40 million, Guiu, you have 5 million from Barcelona, Buonanotte on loan. But these are the kind of games where you expect them to just impose themselves. Hopefully, second half will be better. If you're looking at changes, maybe Estevao down the right and Jamie Gittins on the left will give us a lot more balance in our attack. Saw Liam Rosenior having a word with Enzo Fernandez at halftime. Does that mean that Enzo is going to be coming on? Maybe to replace Moises Caicedo. Caicedo has no business playing 90 minutes today, that's for sure. I think if Andre Santos just sits in that number 6 position and allows Enzo Fernandez to go forward, might see him try to unlock the Charlton defence. Look pretty okay. I think shots from distance, which have been very well saved by Will Mannion. One from Achimpong, one from Jamie Gittins on his left foot. We should be ready for the start of the second half. Let's quickly get the stream going. Can Chelsea continue what has been decent work? Still have a lot of room for improvement in terms of the performances in general. But yep, the statistics, the metrics, all looking good for Chelsea. Clearly dominating the ball. All the chances, territory, very much in favour of the Blues. But we need to get a bit more in terms of decent attempts and almost create something a bit more Premier League-like, if that makes any sense. Yep, back underway for the start of the second half. Here's Gittins, goes on the outside, decent strike, Guiu surely, oh Buonanotte, what a challenge that is. Guiu's convinced that there's a handball there, and he believes, he is convinced. Chelsea nearly scoring with their very first attack in the second half. Jamie Gittins doing very well, good challenge. It has ricocheted off the arm, but that's not a pen. It's hit his arm a couple of times. You can see why Mark Guiu and Facundo Buonanotte were convinced that that might have been a pen. Chelsea wanted to start on the front foot, which they did. It's important that we continue the good work here. Get that second goal as quickly as possible. Put the game to bed. And then we can focus on Arsenal midweek again in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Charlton venturing forward. First attack into the second half. Here's Sonny Carey. Thought about the shot. Excellent from Santos, but he breaks the challenge. Very well defended by Jarell Hato. In the first half, Jarell Hato, we very seldom saw him in a defensive action really. Was playing almost like a auxiliary number 10 down that left-hand side in the half space. By Jarell Hato. Here is the goal scorer. Fantastic goal to break open the deadlock. Here's Tosin. Finds Josh Achimpong. Was our best defender in that first half. Now Benoit Badiashile. And Chelsea have to just maneuver the ball here. Make sure that, what a pass that is for Gittins. Brings it down expertly. Outstanding from Jamie Bino Gittins. Goes on the outside. Might be a foul, and it is. Might be a yellow card as well for Tyrese Campbell. The left wing back helping out defensively. Committing the foul. Then kicks the... Oh, that's a really bad challenge there from Campbell. Not sure as to how he escaped without picking up a yellow card. It's a free kick for Chelsea. 3 minutes into the second half. Well, the two Argentines sizing up this free kick. It's on that right-hand side. Garnacho's right foot or Buonanotte's left, the option. Can Chelsea get the second goal quickly here? Garnacho has stepped away. Buonanotte with his left foot. Can he pick out a decent target here? Chelsea with the free kick. Buonanotte delivers. Goes for the front post and it's 2-0. Tosin Adarabioyo scores early into the second half. And it's 2-0 to the Blues. Comfort zone has arrived. Well whipped ball there from Facundo Buonanotte. Tosin makes the run at the front post. It's a bullet header past Will Mannion. It's 2-0 to Chelsea. Well, we could have scored early into the first half, which was very well blocked. Set piece. Nobody picking out Tosin. It's far too easy. The defending there is shocking from Charlton's point of view. Nobody picks off Tosin. Creates enough separation. Guides the header. There's enough pace on the cross. All he has to do is get that on target, and it seems that Liam Rossinier will start off his reign as Chelsea boss with a victory. We expected him to take the win here today. Chelsea looking for a counter-attack here. James Bree wins the ball back. Keeps it short. Connor Coventry. And now Charlton will have to come out and play here. The spaces will open up for Chelsea to counter and add the third. Ooh, Badiashile. Careful, careful, Benoit, please. He needs to be a lot more measured in his challenges here. I think Liam Rossinier has to take off Benoit Badiashile. He hasn't done so. Nathan Jones signaling that he might have felt that Benoit Badiashile. He's committed 2 fouls already after being booked. Surely that's his last warning. Charlton take the free kick shot. Goes on the outside. Whip ball into the box. Good header there by Badiashile. Might have taken the last touch of the Charlton defender. Goal kick for the Blues. And Chelsea falling asleep here at the set piece. Tyrese Campbell does very well to go on the outside. Badiashile leaps but doesn't make contact with the ball, and it's just a goal kick for the Blues. A 2-0 and comfort zone for Chelsea. Oh my word, Chelsea play out the back in risky fashion. Badiashile just pings a brilliant cross-field pass. Here's Jamie Bino-Gittins. Really looks lethal, doesn't he? Gittins, decent run, but trying to do too much by his lonesome. Charlton secure the ball now. Here's Amari Bell. Put under pressure by Gittins. Bell forced to check his run. Go backwards. Again, there's no passing option. Oh, that is so poor from Gittins. There's no need to foul him there. He's going nowhere. It's a bit of youthful exuberance from Jamie Bino-Gittins. Those Chelsea fans who made the trip to the Valley, getting their money's worth here so far. Chelsea need to add the third, the fourth as quickly as possible. Liam Delap might be coming on here. Mark Guiu. Brilliant pass there by Andre Santos. And now Alejandro Garnacho had a really poor first half. Has an opportunity. Garnacho! It's just wide. Tries to just curl that towards the far corner. Much better there from Alejandro Garnacho. He was isolated down that left-hand side. You knew he's going to cut in and shoot. Good bit of feet there. Keenan Goff didn't know whether or not he's going to go left or right. Garnacho coming close there to add the third. But that's the best we have seen of Alejandro Garnacho so far. In the first half, he was pretty much anonymous. Pretty sure Garnacho will get 90 minutes today. Badiashile does well. Lloyd Jones's header. Decent flick on. Caicedo wins the loose header. Gittins a little too casual there. Jones clears. Badiashile's header. Oh, what a touch that is from Gittins. Can Guiu get there first? He shields the ball nicely. Puts the ball into the area. Very well defended. Garnacho had to make that central run. Gittins does very well. Andre Santos nipping in. Does very well. Santos off the ball has been fantastic. I think his positioning and the way that he's intercepted and put out fires has been very good. Here's Badiashile. Jarell Hato. I think this is the first time I'm seeing him in that left back position now, making himself available in midfield. Buonanotte, poor touch. The ball breaks kindly to the Argentine. Buonanotte, what a pass that is for Jarell Hato. He does the right thing of just putting that right onto the penalty spot. Mark Guiu did make the run. Badiashile picks the ball up, now finds Andre Santos. James Bree does well defensively against Alejandro Garnacho. Here's Andre Santos. Tosin Adarabioyo, who added the second. What a pass that is from Tosin. It's a real shame that Gittins was offside. We saw Benoit Badiashile having a Lovely left-footed diagonal. This time Tosin on his right foot. Inch perfect pass there to Jamie Bino Gittins. Excuse me. 10 minutes into the second half. Chelsea lead 2-0 at the Valley. Jarell Hato and Tosin Adarabioyo, two defenders, scoring in Liam Rosenior's first game in charge for the Blues. It's been pretty comfortable in terms of defensively. But if Charlton get one back, there'll be all the encouragement that they need. Here's Tyrese Campbell. Left footer looking to just clip this with his right foot. What a ball that is. Chelsea don't clear their lines. Chance here. Brilliant block. Well, Miles Learburn just peels down that left-hand side. Well, Campbell puts this ball into the box. Chelsea don't defend this well whatsoever. Badiashile gets caught as Jarell Hato was very much switched on to the situation here. Again, look at Benoit Badiashile. He's completely lost. He's caught under the ball. Decent strike there by Charlie Kelman. Even better block by Jarell Hato. Corner for Charlton. Decent response since going down to 2. Corner comes in. Header. Oh, punched away. Surely. Goal for Charlton. Miles Learburn scores and pulls one back. Chelsea's defending from set pieces has been shocking all game. And Charlton Athletic have a goal back. They half the deficit. And look at the Valley here. They have been desperate for a goal. Nathan Jones will feel a whole lot better. Tyrese Campbell is offside, but he ducks. Oh, that's so poor there from Philip Jorgensen. Again, he's parrying that straight into the path. I mean, this is really poor keeping by Philip Jorgensen. We'll wait and see whether or not they'll call the offside. They won't, because I don't think there is VAR in the championship. The goal has been given. Well, Liam Rosenior, his side won't keep a clean sheet in his first game. But Chelsea's set-piece defending has been really poor. Game on now. Never a dull day with Chelsea are playing, that's for sure. Caicedo finds Achimpong. Chelsea need a third now. It's been the two defenders that have scored. It's time for the attackers to turn up now. Andre Santos exchanges quick passes with Caicedo. Now Achimpong. Caicedo. Santos again. Buonanotte. Jarell Hato. Decent manipulation by the former Ajax captain. 19 years old. 100 caps for Ajax with the captain's armband. Chelsea spending 40 million euros in the summer. Got very little game time under Enzo Maresca. Look at the Charlton fans now. A couple of flares have been lit up, and now the fans have found their voice. They've had to wait nearly an hour. Miles Learburn with a classic centre-forward goal. Jorgensen has to do better. He has to punch or at least parry that towards the post. Campbell's clearly offside, but he ducks very well. Philip Jorgensen, weak wrists. After not having a shot on target in the entirety of the first half, Charlton finding a goal back in really good time as well. Gittins, well found by Tosin. Gittins in the box now. Buonanotte protects the ball nicely. Has to check his run. Here's Santos. Caicedo. Buonanotte now in the half space. Terrible pass there by Facundo Buonanotte. Charlton looking to play out the back here. They've done very well. They've played through the Chelsea midfield. Sonny Carey with the switch. What a pass that is. Tyrese Campbell. Here's the number 7. Jamaican looks to go on the outside. Great pace shown there. Cross comes into the box. Well defended by Josh Achimpong. Amari Bell picks up the loose ball. Mark Guiu, please don't foul him. He does well. Here's Lloyd Jones. Feeds it onto the right hand side. Heavy touch, but they've kept it nicely. Keenan Goff helps out. There's Jones again. Finds Will Mannion. Had to have a couple of saves in that first half from distance. Josh Achimpong and Jamie Gittins both firing from range. Here's Gittins now. Caicedo, Buonanotte. The run is being made on the right-hand side. He's completely ignored Josh Achimpong's run there, Buonanotte. Said he's kept it short. Now the switch is there onto the left-hand side. Here's Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho now goes on the outside. Decent ball in. Caicedo gets his effort, but wasn't on target. Andres Santos with his effort well over the crossbar. Well, 60 minutes played. Well, Garnacho had the chance where he just curled that past the post. If that's 3-0, it's pretty much game over. But his effort was wide, kept the door open. And Charlton since then taking advantage after Philip Jorgensen tried to claw that header away. Instead, he put it straight into the path of Miles Leoburn, who fired that from close range to pull a goal back. Here's the goal scorer. Does very well to shift it onto the left-hand side. Charlie Kelman making the run. Badiashile tracks the runner. Here's Jorgensen. Good pass there to Garnacho. Garnacho, by luck rather than judgment, keeps the ball. And now driving down the left-hand side. Here's the Argentine. Slows down the attack. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. Don't shoot. Buonanotte takes a deflection. Mark Guiu 3-1 to Chelsea. Chelsea regained the 2-goal advantage. Mark Guiu scores after Buonanotte's effort was parried straight into the path of the Spaniard, who poaches from close range. And it's 3-1 to the Blues. Well, look at the reaction there from Mark Guiu. Well, Nathan Jones goes straight to the screen to check whether or not Mark Guiu was offside. He is slightly emotional here, Mark Guiu, and fair play to the kid. Does very well. This all comes from Alejandro Garnacho getting very lucky to keep possession. He drives down the left-hand side, waits for a bit of support. Buonanotte just holds his run, takes the shot. Guiu's clearly onside. Absolutely no issues with that. That's a striker's goal there. No time to react. No time to take a touch. Left-footed shot. Pass Will Mannion. 3-1 to Chelsea. Well, after a relatively boring first half, there have been 3 goals in the second half. 2 for Chelsea, 1 for Charlton. Chelsea, once again, a 2-goal advantage now. Badiashile hooks that to Garnacho. Garnacho has been better in the second half. I mean, couldn't have been worse. Oh, that's a poor pass there by Hato. Intercepted. That's a very risky pass to play across the face of goal. Yes, it's well outside the box, but those are risky passes here. Cross comes in by Greg Docherty. Oh, what is Philip Jorgensen doing there? Might have injured himself in the process, but there's no need for him to go charging out and get the ball there. Tosin having a word there with Charlie Kelman. He's not happy with what he's seen. Has the corner been signalled here? We'll wait and see. But that all comes from Chelsea and Hato losing the ball. You can see why Jorgensen had to make the interception. That was angling into the corner. I think there was a slight check there by Charlie Kelman on the goalkeeper. I think the foul has been given. Liam Rosinha makes his first substitution, and it is the Brazilian star boy Estevão Willian coming on. Charlton looking to make a double substitution by the looks of it. And Estevão coming on, he will play the right winger role. This is going to be a straight swap with Gittins, or will Garnacho be subbed and Gittins goes to the left hand side? There's Sonny Carey. Shields the ball nicely here, but Enwar Badiashile fouled. Free kick for Chelsea. Could be an opportunity for the subs to be made now. Miles Leoburn. It's not just a double substitution from Nathan Jones, it's a triple sub. Chelsea making just the one in Estevão Willian. little disappointed to see Jamie Gittins coming off, but Estivao coming on. Plenty of excitement. Making his first FA Cup appearance. What a goal he scored against Barcelona, man. That was one of the goals that really got me off my seat. Individual brilliance in a big game such as that. Haven't seen too much of Estivao since then. Scored in the 96th minute at Stamford Bridge against Liverpool to give Chelsea all 3 points before the November international break. And the triple substitution now for Charlton taking place now. Connor Coventry, Charlie Kelman, both being withdrawn. Not sure who the third player was. Yep, Nathan Jones now being the likes of Roy Anderson and Macaulay Gillespie. Greg Doherty is off too. The number 10 goes off. Costello comes in his place as Nathan Jones completes his triple substitution. Do Charlton have something within themselves to try and find a goal back here and make it a nervy end to the match? But if Chelsea had the fourth, it's pretty much game over. Badia Shield. Mark Guiu getting bullied off the ball there quite comfortably. And we'll see how Charlton's approach changes here. They will be coming out to play. We know that Nathan Jones is very much a forward-thinking coach. When he was the manager of Southampton, he was far too attacking, a little too much, you would say, in terms of not understanding. Oh, Jorgensen, he's far too chancy playing out the back. Badia Shield, lovely line breaker there to Garnacho, gets his ankles tapped. After Estivao Willian came on, Liam Rosinia is going to respond with a double change of his own. Liam Delap and Enzo Fernandez, the 8 and number 9, both going to be coming on. Surely, I mean, Moises Caicedo isn't fit or available rather for the Arsenal game, so he might complete 90 minutes today, but Moy playing 90 minutes is absolutely unnecessary. Wait and see the decision. I think Moy will stay. And Andre Santos might come off because Santos will be needed against Arsenal, that's for sure. Not sure as to how Liam Rosinia plans to use Reece James going forward, because we saw Enzo Maresca use him as a centre midfielder, and Reece James has just been a beast in midfield. Picked up the Man of the Match award against Arsenal, up against Declan Rice, and against Manchester City, up against Rodri. Two of the best midfielders, and Reece James has come out on top on both occasions. We drew both games, but Reece James's performance in both those games absolutely top. Well, Facundo Buonanotte is the man who's going to be withdrawn here. Surprising call there from Liam Rosinia, and Mark Guiu having scored after a very, I think this is his first goal this season, if I'm not mistaken, but Liam Rosinia very happy with the number 38. Liam Delap, who scored against Fulham in vain, now looking to score his first FA Cup goal for the Blues. Enzo Fernandez will be the number 10. Chelsea going with that three-man midfield with Enzo, Andre and Moy. Now Liam Delap will cause a few more problems the Charlton defense. Estivao. Liam Delap does very well to hold it off. Garnacho tries to just smuggle that ball forward. Liam Delap putting himself about here. Here's Badia Shield. Finds Andre Santos. Moises Caicedo does very well. Josh Achimpong. Looks like Moises Caicedo will complete 90 minutes today. 20 minutes plus added on time remaining at the Valley. It was 1-0 at half-time after Jarell Hato's incredible opener. Got the second goal early into the second half. Tosin Adarabioyo scoring from a close-range header. Charlton pulled the goal back courtesy of Miles Learburn. But a few minutes later, Mark Guiu added the cushion. Here's Badiashile. Andre Santos. Had a busy game. Good to see Andre Santos. Chelsea knocking the ball around very nicely here. Achumpong, Estevao, his first involvement since coming on. Here's the Brazilian. Couple of step overs. It's Estevao Willian. Oh, chance for Enzo Fernandez. Saved by Mannion. Ball breaks kindly to the Argentine. And with his first touch of the match, nearly made it 4. Here's Benoit Badiashile. Andre Santos. Finds Josh Achumpong. Shifts it onto the right-hand side. Here's Estevao Willian. Keen to impress. Gets the 1-2. Brilliant. It's Estevao Willian is in the box. Estevao, great balance. Oh, last-ditch challenge is perfect there from the Charlton defender. Estevao picks up the loose ball here. Great start there from Estevao. I think that is Amari Bell who's gone down. Lovely close control there from Estevao Willian. Medical staff quickly on scene. Estevao takes those sharp, short touches in close quarters, which makes it almost impossible to tackle him because he manipulates the ball at such a high level. He can go inside or out. He's proficient with both feet. He can strike the ball, the hell out of the ball, with his right foot as well. He really does have every ingredient to go right to the very top. Enzo Fernandez's clever clip pass. Amari Bell's interception. You can see there he pulls his hamstring. Unfortunately for Amari Bell, I think that will be this in terms of his end. About 17.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Valley. Chelsea with the 3-1 lead. Should be comfortable now. Well, Rossini made 3 changes. Estevao, Liam Delap and of course Enzo Fernandez coming on. Unfortunately for Amari Bell, his evening comes to an end, and hope from his point of view it's not a long-term injury. Nathan Jones will need every player at his disposal. Good thing is Bell is walking, but very gingerly. Change being made. He's Agolafe in his place. Fortunately for Amari Bell, he lasts the best part of 70 minutes in this match. Again, the amount of chances that Philip Jorgensen takes. I mean, he is calm on the ball, but my word, my heart skips a beat every time he decides to do too much with the ball. Here's Caicedo. Chelsea with a very strong team out there now, 3-1 up. There's Enzo Fernandez. Has he taken the captain's armband off Moises Caicedo? Might have. Here's Tosin, who got us that second goal early into the second half. He's been rarely untroubled since then. Enzo Fernandez, beautiful pass there to Estevao. What a first touch that is. It's Estevao Willian. What a save. He goes with his weaker right foot. What a strike that is from Estevao. You can see Enzo Fernandez, every opportunity he's getting, he's just clipping the ball into the area there for Estevao Willian. Great manipulation of the ball. He had only eyes for goal. Liam Delap had made the run towards the front post. Estevao with a great strike. Corner for Chelsea, which they've taken it short. Here's Estevao Willian. It's almost come on with a point to prove. Achumpong. Fakes the cross. Here's Caicedo. Jarell Hato. Enzo Fernandez's ball into the box. It's cleared away. Andre Santos leaves that to Josh Achumpong. Achumpong's positioning and interceptions has been very, very good. He's given no chance for the Charlton attackers. Enzo, clever pass. Enzo Fernandez has come on and immediately unlocked the Charlton defenses with the passes. Almost like Enzo Fernandez has come on with a point to prove as well. Some very good passes. This time he's tried to find that early pass to Liam Delap in the channel. The Charlton have got 4 new players on the pitch now. Fresh legs definitely there. What a pass that is by Moises Caicedo. Nearly finds Alejandro Garnacho. Here's James Bree. Charlton play out nicely here onto the right hand side. Here's Sonny Carey. Chelsea defenders backpedaling. Substitute on the outside. Decent ball in. Tosin defends. Again, he puts the ball into the danger area. He has to show he's calm there, but on another day, it might have very easily fallen to a Charlton player here. Charlton looking for that second goal, which will make it a really nervy ending at the Valley here. Onto the left-hand side. Charlton looking to try and break open the Chelsea defence. It was a set piece that led to the goal. Here's Lloyd Jones. Runs Olafir. Liam Delap putting pressure, but Charlton play out comfortably. There's Jones again. Venturing forward. Decent line breaker. Very good defending by Tosin Adarabioyo. Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea on the counter-attack here. Estevao on the right-hand side. Immediately gets fed by Enzo Fernandez. It's Estevao Willian to Enzo Fernandez. Liam Delap. Oh, it's just wide. That should have been the 4th and game over. Chelsea with a very fluid, smooth move. Enzo Fernandez once again in the heart of Chelsea's attack there. Estevao so clever. Enzo does the right thing. Finds Liam Delap on his right foot. Liam has to score there. Perfect opportunity. Enzo Fernandez has come on and completely changed Chelsea's offensive play. Just under 12.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the Valley. Chelsea, as it stands, will progress to the 4th round. Arsenal at the bridge in the Carabao Cup semi-finals in the first leg midweek. That is the game that I'm really looking forward to. With the league all but done, if Chelsea can somehow get Champions League football, fair enough. But in the Cups, that's where Chelsea have to be the most serious. Any piece of silverware, we have to take upon ourselves. And if we can get one over Arsenal, even better. Santos and Enzo both lose out on those duels. Here's the goal scorer, Miles Learburn. Onto the right-hand side, James Bree. Decent ball in. Well defended by Benoit Badiashile. James Bree has not had too many forays forward. Now needs must there from the Charlton players. Good break there. Andre Santos, brilliant read once again. Chelsea on the counter-attack again. Very dangerous. Onto the right-hand side. Estevao Willian and Liam Delap here. Estevao goes on the outside. Estevao Willian punched away by Mannion again. Estevao having no intentions of picking out as Enzo Fernandez. Saved by Mannion again. Into the 80th minute. Chelsea desperate for the 4th. Well, Mannion being worked overtime in the second half. And to his credit has done very well. Estevao head down again. But yep, I don't think he could have found Liam Delap there. Enzo Fernandez looks to just curl that almost with a whipped finish into the far corner. Another injury here for Charlton, and it's the substitute that just came on. Isak Olafil. Is he going to have to be withdrawn as well? Really unfortunate if that's the case. Coach Nathan Jones having to make all 5 subs by the looks of it. Well, 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Valley here. Floodlights beaming down. Bit of rain too by the looks of it. I don't think that's rain, it's just a bit of fog by the looks. Either way, tricky conditions. But it's not the sub, instead it's Tyrese Campbell who's the one that's pulled up. I've been very surprised if Isak Olafur was the player who came on, because he just came on about 5 minutes ago. Difficult to have a muscle injury just 5 minutes into the match. But Tyrese Campbell, who's been up and down that left-hand side, has pulled up, and not sure whether or not he can continue. Harvey Nibbs coming on in his place. 5 changes made by Nathan Jones. That left-hand side has been ripped apart by injuries by the looks of it. Amari Bell first, and now Tyrese Campbell, both coming off as Harvey Nibbs takes his place. Under 10 minutes remaining here for Chelsea. They're parked into the 4th round, all but booked. Can we add the 4th and the gloss to the scoreline here? 3 goals in the second half. Game has really come alive. Could have very easily scored the 4th. Had a couple of opportunities. Delap definitely had to score. Enzo's ball in. Flick on header. Chance here. Jarell Hato tries to bring that down. Good defending. Charlton trying to break here now. Chelsea have to get this right. Jorgensen comes and shows great calmness. Oh my word, Philip Jorgensen. Great composure, but really does make me nervous. Achimpong. He's been first class. Josh Achimpong hasn't put a foot wrong in the match. But we've seen at Strasbourg where Mike Penders, the goalkeeper that Chelsea bought and loaned out to Strasbourg from Genk, he almost plays like an auxiliary centre-back. You see his heat map throughout the season, and it's pretty much as a centre-back. And it will be very surprising to see whether or not Liam Rossinier uses that tactic in the Premier League, because if Chelsea get caught out a couple of times, it could look really foolish. Ball into the box. Jarell Hato. Liam Delap's strike is well blocked. Hato had to go for goal, but he does this unselfish work of just heading it into the path of Liam Delap. Decent strike, but very well blocked. James Bree wins the header. Here's Nibbs. Charlton play through the Chelsea midfield very nicely here. Miles Leoburn has made the run down the right-hand side. And Sonny Carey looks to hit that. And, oh, Philip Jorgensen. Once again, his handling not the most convincing. Oh, Esteval loses the ball here. And Philip Jorgensen quickly gets back into position, because that was on target. Hit with real force. Could have very easily been 3-2 here. Nice strike by the number 3. And Philip Jorgensen quickly adjusts and comfortably gathers. Esteval Willian, under no pressure, tried to adjust his body, but looked a bit foolish there, unfortunately, for the youngster. And nearly turned into a goal. Here's Enzo Fernandez. It's his first poor pass that we've seen from Enzo. But since Enzo has come on, Chelsea's creative play has really gone up a notch. Again, nobody's getting carried away. Double substitution here. Liam Rossinier using all 5 subs. Alejandro Garnacho coming off for Pedro Neto. And Wesley Fofana, very interesting to see him coming on. Hasn't featured in the last couple of games. Jarell Hato, the goal scorer, who scored that absolute pearler right towards the end of the first half to give Chelsea the lead, comes off. We're looking at Jarell Hato's goal again on the half volley. It is a beauty. The most nonchalant of celebrations after the most fantastic goal. Wesley Fofana introduced now. This will be interesting now, because we saw Jarell Hato play in the half spaces down the left-hand side. Wesley Fofana, clearly a right-sided defender. Want to see the structure heading into the final 5 minutes defensively. But it's minutes in the legs for Wesley Fofana. Immediately gets his header here. Pedro Neto, a bit lackadaisical, and the ball breaks kindly for Charlton down the right-hand side here. Cut back. Oh, that might be a pen. It's not given. Oof. The referee was very well placed. Very surprised, because Enzo Fernandez, not the most convincing of tackles. Caicedo does very well. Chelsea progress it beautifully here. Enzo Fernandez immediately looks for the Brazilian. Here's Estevao Willian. Estevao does brilliantly. Estevao takes a deflection, parried away by Mannion again. I've lost count on the number of saves Will Mannion has had to make in the second half. Here's Pedro Neto. He's playing on the left-hand side. He's not going to get the overlap from Josh Achumpong. It's Achumpong who's shifted and traded positions. Achumpong immediately on the left-hand side. Great feed there from the centre-back. Is there a position that Achumpong cannot play? Such is the versatility. Here's Pedro Neto. Nice shimmy. Finds Enzo Fernandez. Oh, that's a terrible shot there from Enzo Fernandez. Again, he expected him to just feed that to Estevao Willian. Let's have a look at this challenge here from Enzo Fernandez. I don't think Enzo has made the challenge here. He's pretty much just stood his ground. It's the strike that was taken, almost initiating the contact on Enzo Fernandez. Yep, Enzo not making the challenge. The referee perfectly positioned. Yep, he just kicks the ground and goes to go. I mean, he's shameless to appeal for the pen, really. There's Lloyd Jones, the centre half. Liam Delap does well. Enzo this time finds Estevao Willian. Chelsea still looking for the fourth here. Pedro Neto. Here's Moises Caicedo. Chelsea just keeping the ball nicely here. That's all we have to do now. The game all but wrapped up. 3 minutes per stoppage time remain at the Valley. The 2 goals from a defender and 1 from a striker. That's one way of spreading the goals. Jarell Hato, Tosin Adebayo and Mark Guiu all on the score sheet for Chelsea. Chelsea have had a couple of opportunities to add the fourth. Hasn't materialized, but still time. Lovely touch there by Estevao. That's a poor pass there by Estevao, but Liam Delap does very well. He's a battering ram of a centre forward. Now Benoit Badiashile. Pedro Neto back to Badiashile. Leads the press. Oh, that's finds Tosin somehow. Clever pass there by Andre Santos. Wesley Fofana, heavy touch, but gets away from the challenges. Chelsea just knocking it around now. I think the Charlton resistance has been finally broken. Apart from the set-piece goal that we conceded and one of the shots on target after Estevao lost his balance. Oh, that's a poor touch there by Josh Achumpong. His first errant pass in the match, and he makes up for it with a lovely interception. Charlton still on the attack though. Miles Leoburn, the goal scorer. Look at Andre Santos. He's had a brilliant game in terms of a pure 6 performance. Liam Delap's touch has to be better. Well, 90 seconds remain of the 90 minutes. Expecting maybe 5 minutes of added on time. Can Charlton try and get a goal to make it a bit of an uncomfortable end to the match for Chelsea? Which Charlton have Will Mannion in goal to thank for keeping it at 3-1. Lovely turn here from the attacker away from Tosin, but positioning from Wesley Fofana is good. Chelsea win the ball back. Foul given on the tackle there on Moises Caicedo. Since he's not available for that first leg clash against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final at the Bridge, he will play all 90 minutes today. Got Brentford at the weekend. Next weekend, that is. It's a must-win game. Brentford are ahead of us. I mean, imagine that if I told you Brentford would lose their coach and Mbeumo. Who else have they lost? Some key players. But they're ahead of us after 21 games. Keith Andrews, much respect. He's got Igor Thiago firing on all cylinders because there's nobody really keeping pace with Erling Haaland except for Igor Thiago. Haaland's got 20 Premier League goals if I'm not mistaken. I think he scored his 20th from the spot against Brighton, where Manchester City once again dropped points. 3 back-to-back games, draws for Pep Guardiola's men. They're looking to put the pressure on Arsenal Those 3 draws would have not helped the cause. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Again, good battling tackle here. Caicedo does well. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Might go for the shot. Instead looks for Pedro Neto. Thought about the shot. It's Pedro Neto! Beautifully done on his right foot. Puts the seal. And Chelsea advance. Right-footed dive. Will Mannion completely wrong-footed. 4-1 to the Blues away from home. And Liam Rosenior's first game in charge ends up in a comfortable victory. Enzo Fernandez with the assist. Pedro Neto might have pulled the trigger on his left foot. Instead, he checks onto his right. And that is a cracking finish. Will Mannion, a mannequin on that situation there. It was hit with such power. "4-1 to the Blues." Job done. Well, games like this makes it worth it that it's nearly 3:30 a.m. in India and Chelsea getting the job done. Well, credit to Charlton for representing the badge very nicely. At 2-1, could have been very interesting, but that third goal really did break their spirits. Soon after scoring the second, scoring the one to bring it back to 2-1, Mark Guiu from close range made it third, and Pedro Neto, since coming on, with his first real major contribution on his weaker right foot, rifled that past Will Mannion to make it 4. The 2 minutes of stoppage time has concluded, and now just a mere formality now. Estevao has looked very bright since coming on. Liam Delap, clever pass here. Estevao is bearing down on goal to make it 5. Estevao Willian on the outside. Oh, he's tried to do too much there. I think the pen has been given too. The misery has been compounded there. The referee is saying, what can I do? I have to give the pen. Estevao with a wry smile on his face. He should have finished it. Takes a couple of touches to go on the outside. Lovely feet. Takes the touch. Yep, that's a clear pen. Really unfortunate, and the scoreline will be damaging for Charlton. I don't think that's a pen, you know. He might have gotten the ball first. Again, no VAR. But Chelsea have an opportunity to make it 5 here. This will be the last kick of the game. Liam Rosenior will see his side possibly put 5 in his first game as Chelsea boss. Enzo Fernandez in no mood to delegate this one to Estevao this time. We saw him do that in the Champions League against Ajax. But Enzo Fernandez in the mood here to get amongst the goals. Since coming off the bench, he's looked very creative. It's Enzo Fernandez makes it 5 to Chelsea. A convincing performance to make it 5-1 to Chelsea, and that will be that. The full-time whistle blows right after the pen as Chelsea put 5 past Charlton Athletic at the Valley. A heroic performance from Charlton, but far too much quality there from Chelsea. That's a brilliant pen there from Enzo Fernandez. Keeper guesses the right way, but there's no chance he's keeping that one out. Chelsea put 5 and advanced to the 4th round. Liam Rosenior having a comfortable first game as Chelsea boss. The task will get a whole lot more difficult in his second game as we have Arsenal at the Bridge in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Well, Jarell Hato started the things off with a tremendous goal right towards the end of the first half on his left foot on the half volley to find the top corner to give Chelsea a 1-0 lead at half-time. Tosin Adarabioyo scoring early into the second half. Miles Leoburn scoring to make it 2-1 soon after. Mark Guiu, couple of minutes later, made it 3-1. And from there, Chelsea adding the gloss on the scoreline right towards the end. Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez both scoring in stoppage time to give Chelsea a route into the 4th round. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined into my live stream. It has been a real pleasure, and I'm really glad Chelsea start off the Liam Rosenior era with a victory here. Full time at the Valley. Charlton 1, Chelsea 5. I'll see you guys for the next game, which will be a firecracker. Do join into my stream. It is going to be a game that is going to make me very nervous, on the edge of my seat. The complete opposite of this game, that's for sure. But Chelsea with a 5-star performance at the Valley advanced to the next round. I'll see you guys soon.